And there he is at just 24 years old. Lives here in Vegas, but it all started in the Bay Area for Devin Haney. On to become a 7-time national champion, but instead of going the Olympic route, he turned pro in Mexico at 17 years old. He came up old school, the hard way. Made his U.S. debut here.
Please welcome Devin, the Dream Haney.
Weighing in officially at 135 pounds. This Olympic silver medalist now, as a professional, has a perfect record consisting of 23 fights, 23 victories, including 11 wins by knockout. He's a 3-division, 3-time world champion from Newark, New Jersey, former featherweight world champion, former super featherweight world champion, the reigning, defending, undefeated WBC lightweight champion of the world, Shakur Stevenson.
Elite star Shakur Stevenson gears up for a blockbuster pay-per-view showdown with Devin Haney at 140, agreeing to rehydration terms while confidently staking his legacy.
All of these guys, if y'all want me to come to 147, I'm coming in with rehydration clauses. I don't even do that. But why am I going up to these guys' weight classes if I'm not planning on going?
Devin Haney confidently affirms the blockbuster showdown with Shakur Stevenson is locked in, revealing determination, unwavering grit, and a premium pay-per-view mindset.
Shakur still at 135. You can't, say your name without saying Shakur to your female tank, right? It just is what it is. Is that fight going to ever happen? Would it ever happen against you and Shakur?
100%, yeah. I think so. I think it.
You think Shakur will grow into whatever weight you're in?
we're all of us is close to the same size. We're all growing together. We're all getting bigger. Well, and it's only so many guys, like y'all said. It's only so many guys that we could make big money and people want to see the fights. Which, even though I know that they making new guys, it's guys like Kermel, Abdullah, all these guys want to come up too. So eventually they gonna be there too. But I think that a fight with Shakur is very much possible. We try to make it happen.
Breaking Shakur Stevenson confidently welcomes a blockbuster pay-per-view mega fight with Devin Haney, as reports suggest Haney's camp may spin avoidance narratives.
Devin Haney.
Okay.
Devin Haney's probably, to me, I don't think it's hit its point yet, but I think in the next year or two it'll hit a point where it's like the world is gonna demand. You know what I'm saying? I can see the trajectory feels like it could meet like that.
I would love this fight. But look, you gotta watch what you say with and this is not even Devin fault, because Devin is very respectful of my game and I'm respectful of his game. He's a good fighter. But his fans will clip and twist and turn things into something that is not. So I try to be real careful on what I say.
True. This is guy Jay on Twitter. He a big Haney fan. He be always clipping and changing stuff, Jay.
Yeah, they gonna make a narrative as if I'm scared of. I think Devin's a tremendous fighter. Do I think Devin Haney can beat me? Hell no.
Shakur Stevenson believes he is on another level with no fighter capable of defeating him, while Devin cannot knock him out.
He's a fucking stone cold killer who's just gonna go in there and try to knock me the fuck out.
Yeah.
He's gonna try to outbox me. I'm the greatest boxer. How do you... So that's how I feel about the fight.
Yeah.
But it all gotta make sense from a business standpoint. I don't like getting up here and negotiating against myself.
For sure.
But for me, I'm willing to make the fight.
But do you see it as it being that could, like we always said, the Four Kings, even though you wasn't a part of it, the whole plot was at the end of the road, there's gonna be two guys left standing, and that's the big fight. Do you see that as that's potentially what that could be?
I'm a bad motherfucker.
Confident champion Shakur Stevenson insists he is untouchable in boxing, saying Devin Haney lacks knockout power to stop his dominance.
Fights are not possible. Would you be more inclined just to move up to 140?
Yeah, you know, if I can't get those fights next, or it doesn't make sense for it to be next, I'll probably go to 140, test it out, see how I feel at the weight at 140, and then when the time is right, then, you know, I'll defend my belt at 135. We'll just see, though. I got to go back and talk with the team and see what makes the most sense. That's really all.
Bill Haney states they refuse to cut weight or weight. Challengers seeking a pay-per-view fight must ascend to 140.
He didn't become undisputed yet. They didn't mention the franchise belt, which directly impacted Devin's career early on, right? And it seemed like, I was saying this on my live earlier, you tell me what you think about this, but it seems to me like there's a lot of people that have tried to block y'all ambition, right? Between you signed to the wrong company, you know, Loma not taking the Devin fight, Tio not taking the Devin fight, Rolly saying he just don't want to fight Devin. Do you see that? Like, how do you see that? You know, as far as like, people know you're ambitious, they know you want to be unified, they know you want to be undisputed. So they put all these obstacles up and they make it hard for you to achieve what you're trying to achieve.
Absolutely. I think it's been historic in the way that they've done.
He adds, the bout can happen anytime the challenger is ready.
So we must keep our composure and our patience and understand that it's part of the process when you're that good. You know what I mean? We can't say it any other way. You know, they're running out of narratives. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, it's what the people want to see. We don't never say, okay, you know, well, this guy has done something wrong or he did bad business. So, you know, we'll never do it. Obviously, you know, when we go through negotiations and we spend time in there, whether it's put something together for Richard Hitchinson, for him to come back later and to say, you know, yeah, I want that fight. Well, when we were trying to make the fight, we couldn't. You didn't want to negotiate. You went somewhere else. When we were negotiating with Shakur Stevenson, instead of him negotiating with us, he said that he's going to go somewhere.
Tim Bradley argues that Shakur Stevenson could ultimately outshine even Terence Crawford in the sport's high-stakes pay-per-view era. Crawford is already a pound-for-pound legend and 5-division champion with a premium blockbuster resume. Still, Bradley sees Shakur as an elite future A-list star with even greater upside. He stresses this isn't about collecting more undisputed belts, but about timing and opportunity. In today's promoter bridging landscape, led by power brokers like Turki Alashik, Shakur can land marquee mega fights faster, driving global viewership, sponsorship revenue, and massive monetization. Bradley believes this ecosystem could elevate Shakur's legacy beyond what politics once limited for Crawford.
I feel like Shakur, just like Crawford was with me, Shakur has the ability to pass Terence Crawford. Listen up. Now, not in the stance of becoming 3-time undisputed and, you know, going up to, you know, that many weight classes. Not from that standpoint. You know, he already has 4 weight classes. Crawford is a 5-weight division champion. But in a sense of having the opportunities that Crawford didn't have. You know, Crawford would have been even bigger than what he is if the politics didn't play into the sport at the time. And now that, you know, you have guys like Turki Alashik that are able to bridge that gap between promoters and, you know, make these big fights.
Shakur Stevenson is stepping into a thrilling new era, dominating the 130 to 135 pound division with unmatched skill and precision. The landscape is packed with elite fighters like Devin Haney, Lamont Roach, Ashaki Foster, Gary Russell Jr., Dalton Smith, and Brian Garcia, offering Shakur high stakes, career-defining matchups. Experts highlight that he not only has the talent to compete, but the power and strategy to conquer these top-tier opponents. Every fight is a chance to elevate his legacy, create historic moments, and surpass even Crawford's influence, making Shakur a must-watch superstar in modern boxing history.
Turki was around when Crawford was on his climb. You know, when Crawford couldn't get those big fights with like Thurman and
Danny Garcia and Ugas, and he got it later with Sean Porter, but it was later. But imagine if Crawford was able to have that run, and Earl Spence, Danny Garcia, Ugas, Keith Thurman, the list goes on. If he would have had all those guys on his ledger, imagine how big Crawford would be. He would be even bigger than what he is today. Bigger than what he is today. So with that being said, with these fighters hovering around 135, these talented fighters hovering around 135, 130, guys like, Oshaki Foster, like I mentioned, going to go up to 135. He's big enough to go to 135.
A massive challenge stands in their path, but as you witness these elite fighters clash, it's obvious that outside of foul play, defeat is rare for either. Devin Haney immediately counters Shakur, and Shakur fires back, showcasing the intense tactical exchange between world-class athletes. Initially, buzz surrounded Four Kings 2, featuring Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, Teofimo Lopez, and Gervonta Davis, evoking memories of boxing legends Marvin Hagler, Tommy Hearns, Sugar Ray Leonard, and Roberto Duran, a premium fight showdown, paying homage to the sport's golden era.
Haney gonna concede to that? I doubt it. So there's a major obstacle in the way. But nonetheless, as you watch these two fighters fight, you can clearly see, outside of cheating, they're more than likely not going to lose, right? With that said, Devin Haney immediately responds to Shakur. Shakur responds to Devin, right? Again, we had the initial Four Kings. It was Devin, Ryan, Teo, and Tank Davis, right? It was supposed to be the Four Kings 2.0, from the Marvin Hagler, Tommy Hearns, Sugar Ray Leonard, Roberto Duran.
Interestingly, Wilfred Benitez, often ignored in boxing history, shocked the world by defeating Roberto Duran, who struggled against several of the legendary original Four Kings. Duran only defeated Sugar Ray Leonard once, was brutally stopped by Thomas Hearns, outclassed by marvelous Marvin Hagler, and ultimately bested by Benitez. Despite these monumental wins, Benitez remains underappreciated. Today, fighters like Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, Gervonta Tank Davis, and Teofimo Lopez often overshadow Shakur Stevenson. Yet Stevenson is rising fast, especially after dominating Lopez. Meanwhile, Davis's legal battles and fight hesitations emphasize the evolving challenges and massive opportunities shaping modern boxing today.
We had that Four King era, but nobody mentions Wilfred Benitez. And the fact remains is Wilfred Benitez beat Roberto Duran as well. And Roberto Duran is 1-4 against those guys. He beat Sugar Ray Leonard the first time. Outside of that, Roberto Duran, he lost he quit against Sugar Ray Leonard. He got knocked out brutally by Tommy Hearns. He got outboxed by Marvin Hagler and outclassed by Wilfred Benitez. Right? But he's overshadowing Wilfred Benitez. And I felt like these guys, Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, Tank, and Teo, overshadowed Shakur Stevenson. And now Shakur Stevenson has shined the light by dominating Teofimo Lopez.
Boxing star Bernie Thor reacts to Shakur Stevenson versus Devin Haney, breaking down the historic achievements of both elite fighters. Stevenson now dominates as a 4-division world champion, 2-time lineal title holder, and 2-time Ring Magazine belt winner. He also unified the 130 lb division, defeating top-tier, high-profile opponents like Teofimo Lopez, cementing his legacy as one of boxing's modern legends.
To the fight, Conor Ben comes into the ring, they talk, have some words, but Shakur Stevenson said, I want to put that same rehydration clause you put on Chris Eubank. Tell me, what did you get out of that moment in the ring?
Well, I heard on the press conference where I think it was his manager said that, that was a clown move, but I think Shakur invited that, I don't even know if I would have said all that about Conor being right then, but I think he really wants that fight. He really wants the money. for the fight. You know, he been saying that. And now he came through victorious. You know, I think he really wants that money for that fight. He wants the money for the fight.
Devin Haney, a dominant 3-weight world champion and former undisputed ruler, represents the ultimate challenge. Bernie stresses that if Shakur Stevenson truly wants to make history, he must face Haney at his absolute peak without hesitation. Taking on Devin in his prime guarantees no excuses and ensures Shakur claims full recognition for an iconic victory. Both fighters are undeniably elite, but conquering Haney at his best would solidify Stevenson's legacy, showcasing his elite skill, relentless determination, and undeniable championship-level prowess to the world.
He fights accomplishments, because now Shakur is a 4-weight world champion. Devin is a 3-weight world champion. Devin was undisputed, but now Shakur is a 2-time lineal champion. You know, so he's a 2-time Ring Magazine winner. You know, 2-time unified champion. If you want to add the ring, as far as with the WBO, he was unified at 130. You know, so he's a 2-time unified champion, 2-time lineal champion. Beat a guy like Teofimo Lopez, who rises to the occasion. Had a close fight with George Kambosos. You can make a claim that he was fighting out of frustration or out of emotion. You know, and that was it. He was in his prime too. You know, Josh Taylor seemed to be drained at 140. Not taking away from Devin, but he was already moving up to 47. They were saying. You know, Lomachenko was a little older and small.
Shakur Stevenson delivered an electrifying, dominant performance against Teofimo Lopez and Busianis, proving why he's one of boxing's elite stars. Remarkably, Stevenson showcased precision and power, almost fighting with one hand, yet controlling the ring with a razor-sharp jab, the ultimate weapon in boxing. Every combination and movement was calculated, showcasing unmatched technical mastery that left Lopez looking inexperienced, despite his size, speed, and athleticism. Critics doubting Stevenson's resume were silenced as he outclassed Lopez effortlessly. Every punch, defense, and counter highlighted his skill and strategy, cementing Shakur Stevenson as a true boxing phenomenon.
I see greatness, man. I see greatness. Shakur practically beat him with one hand, man. That jab, man. Most important hand you have, man. You know? And he looked good doing it, sharp. You know what I mean? Distance. He did everything, man. He did everything right, man.
A lot of people thought it would be a tough fight because Teo's athletic, Teo was experienced, he's fought on a high level. And, you know, they were critical of Shakur. Oh, he ain't fought nobody, and this and that.
Yeah.
He made Teo look like everybody else.
Made him look like an amateur. Made him look like an amateur. Yes.
Now, technically, what did you see? Right? Where did Teo go wrong in that fight?
Where he went wrong?
Yeah.
Fighting Shakur. That's where he went wrong. Fighting Shakur. I knew he just running his mouth. He just was talking, man. I knew that from the beginning, even the time when he talked.
Even with a slight left-hand injury, Shakur dominated every round, unleashing relentless jabs while carefully protecting his hand. Analysts highlight that he had clear knockout potential if he pushed harder. Despite the injury, his tactical brilliance and ring IQ controlled the pace, turning adversity into advantage. Fans witnessed an elite performance, with Shakur showcasing unmatched skill, composure, and strategic mastery. Philadelphia and global audiences saw a future champion in action, proving greatness isn't about flawless conditions, it's about precision, heart, and unshakable focus. This fight cemented Shakur as one of boxing's most formidable and intelligent talents.
Yeah, Shakur, no, he could have got stopped too, but Shakur hurt his left hand. His left hand was hurt. If you notice, he was using that jab a lot.
Yeah, jab and then the hook.
And he threw the left hand every now and then. Because I was screaming out. Everybody said they heard me in Philly.
Yo, we could hear you on the TV. Yo.
Yeah, that's my young buck. You know what I mean? And I was telling him, throw that straight left hand. Then I noticed when he did throw it, he wasn't throwing it real hard. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But he looked spectacular, man. You know what I mean? You can't ask for nothing more, man. And with me, I don't care about what people say, man. They always want to talk about you and say, oh, he should have did this, should have did that. He did everything that he was supposed to do, and he did it right.
The Shakur Stevenson versus Devin Haney showdown is one of the most anticipated fights in boxing today. Both athletes showcase elite skill, lightning-fast speed, and relentless determination, making every second inside the ring explosive. Fans worldwide are analyzing strategies, past performances, and debating who will dominate. Every jab, counter, knockout punch matters, and the stakes are monumental. Shakur's precision and technical brilliance collide with Haney's raw power and agility, promising a high-octane battle. The hype is unmatched, the tension palpable, and this fight could redefine their legacies, delivering an unforgettable, career-defining moment in modern boxing history.
Fight that even remotely sparks my interest for Shakur Stevenson is this guy right here, Devin Haney. Look at them. They're the same size. Obviously, Devin's moved up to 147. Shakur demands a catch weight. We'll see if Devin goes for the bait, because I think Shakur Stevenson, there's no doubt about it, he has the skills to compete at 147, to be 5 weight division champion. I feel like that would be crazy.
That wraps today's epic video. Stay tuned for next.